Hello people, video 22. This one is Zion Lane, kind of a bit further up from behind Adelphi. I love this road, this street, it's just superb. The picture I've got here is, well, as you can tell, because I think it was January I took these photos, and obviously the sun was getting a bit low at that time because it was getting towards tea time, so it does look very kind of a sunset, so in anything it gives it a bit of atmosphere, but there's plenty of shots on it that you can find. Anyway, here it is, Zion Lane. It's just amazing. I mean, look at the cobbles and the bit of flat pavement on it, and you've got from the forefront you've got the cobbles, and you can see the sun on it, and you can see like it's like a twin track cobble going up, as if the middle bit had overgrown, obviously where the tracks had worn down the side, so the middle bit was left where it was. And this is fantastic. I wish some of the other roads weren't covered in tarmac. They should have left them just original like this, because it just, I mean, you could go back 50 years, and even more, and it would have changed. It would have looked more different. I think it's just that little street light you can see lighting up on kind of halfway up on the left, and that splits it up. As you can see, a bit further up from that, the little building in the foreground is Zion Sabbath School, which was built in 1854, which replaced the previous school, which was an independent chapel, which opened in 1793. So, and that's still there today. I've seen a picture on Picture Sheffield. I think it was 2005 it was took, and it's still the original Zion Sabbath School that it says on there. So whether it's still used for that, I'm not quite so sure, but it certainly stood its test of time. I remember walking up and down here regular. There was further up on the right hand side. There's a church called the Zion Congregational Church, or was called the Zion Congregational Church. Have a look on Picture Sheffield for the picture. I mean, back in what was it, late 70s, yeah, 78, 70, 79, that sort of thing. I mean, this church was still there then, because I remember seeing it, and it got to be the blackest church I think I'd ever seen in my life. Whether it was original sandstone, which I think it probably would have been. I mean, it was just black. I'd never seen anything. It was just caked. Even the slats on the, kind of like the spires and the turrets and whatnot were caked. And I think at that time it had the obviously the gate, the bars on the window, the little mesh gates that they put on the window, obviously, so you didn't get damaged. And it was just black. I don't think you'd be able to see out the windows. I'm not sure. Highly unlikely. I mean, when we used to knock about around there, I mean, it was empty anyway. I mean, obviously it's not been used. But what we used to do is, on the picture on Picture Sheffield, you can see it looking down at the corner. Just on the left, there used to be a grate, which was just at the front of it, and I think it was like an access grate. I don't know what it was originally for, but it's got a few pipes in there. And when we used to crawl under it. We used to dare each other to crawl under it. We used to go on if you dare, and all that rubbish. And when you crawled under it, you could see the like little vents. Up in the up in the church, the little ornate vents. So I gather it might have been where the hot pipes were, because there was a few pipes down there. Maybe that's where the heating used to go through. I'm not sure, but I think we only ever got about about 6 or 8 feet up before turning around and coming back. And obviously the last one in would make a massive noise, turn around, and the first one in was the last one out, and he used to be absolutely sugaring himself because he needed to get out quick, because obviously we used to torment each other crackers with that. It was great fun, that was. Luckily, I was always the last in and first out, because there's no way on God's earth when I got first in. So I remember the chapel, but it's not there now. It's a shame, actually. I mean, it was just in the middle of nowhere, especially where it was, because all the houses and everything had gone around it. It was just flat. So, but yeah, do remember that. And like I say, it's not there now. So, Anyway, what I've got written about this one is, I'll read it as I wrote it. Taking on Zion Lane. There are still many places around like this, untouched by development and time. Lanes still paved with cobbles and stone. Still works on the left, even though the picture is dark, it still looks no different than it did in full daylight. The lane off to the right takes you down a green metal door, which is just in front where I'm stood taking the picture. Which blocks off the pathway. When we went to school, we would go through here for a shortcut. It cut out having to go right down Cliffe Road really, and then turn left down. I think I've written it down. Newall Lane. It meant having to go down the Adelphi. We didn't have to go all that way. We could have cut this bit out. Where am I? Right, so Cliffe Road. Then left down on the main road, which was Newall Road. The pathway was a works access. Once through the door, it was like going back 50 years. On the right was a big stone wall with the cemetery behind it. On the left was a steelworks. All in front were cobbles leading you down from a ramp with an iron rail at the side. We would walk down the ramp and along the cobble lane, following it around to the right alongside the River Don, which I think is the River Weir Walk, I think it is, or just onto the left that they've done. On the left, before the bend, was the works access, complete with the time clocker's office painted in dark green. That's true. It's not there now. I've been on Flash Earth and took a top-down view, and the walkway's still there. That takes you down. If you look at this picture where I'm stood, if I immediately turn right, you go down there, and it used to be just like a wooden door with like a normal handle, outside handle, and you just open that, and it took you down into the works kind of yard. Which was down a ramp. Then there was an access which went all the way out to Newall Road, and on the left-hand side there was the access, to the works. And there was the original like entrance to the works, and like a little ramp that used to go up with a little like roof over where the clock was. So they go up to 3 steps, clock in, go on, further down, and then either go into the boss's office or manager's office, or carry on straight into the works. And then there's like some little, I think some metal tram lines as well, where maybe they've had a train or something going. I'm not quite so sure on that. But when you turned right where we went, it was all wide and cobbled, because that's obviously the works entrance off Newall Road, where anything used to come in. And that was fascinating, that. I mean, I don't think there was much going on. I think the works were still being used when we was a kid, which was in the late 70s, 78, 79 sort of thing. But other than that, I'm not so sure, but I used to be fascinated. And it's just one of them things, if it was there now and I was like this age, and I got in and, snuck in and took some photographs and stuff, because, I mean, that was fantastic. I mean, I don't even know what the works was called offhand. If anybody does, like I keep saying, email me and let me know. But, that's kind of remember. I remember once, I'll get to this later, we were coming down from our house, we walked down, and every morning we used to have set off early to the bus, and outside the one of the shops was always 2 bottles of milk, but the shop was never open. So my brother went past one day and he says, "You want a bottle of milk? Have a drink of milk." So we nicked one of the bottles, and he picked it up. We got away with this 2 or 3 times, and about the 3rd time I think we tried it, we got so far down, looked at the bottle, picked it up, and he was carrying it, and across the road there was a butcher's, which was near the not far from the post office in Cliffe Road. Excuse me. And I heard him come out and he goes, "Oh, what do you think you're doing?" So my brother gave me the bottle, I put it in my sports bag, and we legged it. Unfortunately, I had a hole in the bottom of my sports bag, as most kids do, because at school they used to kick the back of your school bag, and eventually it used to tear. And the bottle slipped out and smashed all over the pavement. So we run, and when I took this photograph, just in front to the right where the tree is, there was all these bushes and stuff, and we had to hide in there. And I think we hid in there for like 15 minutes in case the butcher came down and caught us. Unfortunately, he didn't come round that work for, but we stood there, we were frightened stiff hiding in these bushes just in case he turned up. And all day I felt really, really bad, like I was going to get caught and get told off, and I was going to have to tell my mum, and my brother was going, "No, you're not telling," because I was only about 10, something like that. And anyway, after the school had done, and I got home, I weren't bothered then, so I never said no to it, as you do. And I don't think we did it then. I think we went another way for about a week and a half. We kind of went down by the Attercliffe Baths and came out and didn't go past the butchers, but about 2 weeks later we just started going the same way again, and that was it. Never heard note on it. So yeah, Zion Lane, excellent little street. I'm going to go back and take some more photographs of this when I go back, because I just love these cobbles. There should be more of them. Hope you agree. Anyway, thanks for that one. Bye.